Hi, Mahsa from Portland, Oregon. And as Grillet's #1 fan, I want to take you on a culinary journey to southern Iran, where you're going to have some really delicious food. And I bet you it's something that you've never had. We're going to start off with our main dish, which is a stuffed salmon. I know what you're thinking. I've had stuffed salmon before, but you've never had Persian stuffed salmon. It is delicious. And the same word for delicious in Farsi is khoshmazeh, like cooking. Let's start off with chopping some onion. And onions are used in a lot of Persian cooking. They're pretty much the base because they give the food a lot of flavor. I especially like to caramelize my onions because it brings out the natural sweetness. So now that we've chopped our onions, we've heated a few tablespoons of olive oil in a cast iron skillet, and we're going to add our onions. Love the sound of that sizzle. And we're going to just saute these until they're light brown. We want a nice golden brown color. And that's really going to bring out the sweetness in the onions. Now that we have our onions sauteing, we're going to get our other ingredients ready. We're going to start with some garlic. And if you've had a bad day, this is the time to take care of the situation. Take a knife and whoop. That gets the skin off. And then we're going to just chop them real finely and add them to our onions. What we really love using in Persian cooking is fresh herbs. And today we're going to use some fresh cilantro. Now what I'm going to do is just chop this by hand. But if you'd like, you can do this in the food processor. It's super quick, super easy. And I really love fresh flavor that cilantro gives this dish. We're going to get our tamarind ready. And what tamarind is this is actually a fruit that grows in Africa and in India, but we use it a lot in Persian cooking as well. And what it is, it's a seed that grows in a little shell, and it almost looks like a green bean. So using a spatula, we're going to press down, and what we want is to get the pulp out, which is really acidic and gives the dish a really nice tangy flavor. Growing up, I ate a lot of tamarind because it's really delicious and it's got that tangy flavor. But just like any other fruit, if you have too much of it, you can end up with a little bit of a stomachache. So everything in moderation. In traditional Iranian cooking, we don't add a whole lot of spiciness. But I like to heat things up. And Bobby, I know you like your chilies. So for this dish, I've decided to use a serrano chili. It's going to give a nice kick to this dish. And the nice thing about this is that in southern Iran, they do like to add a little bit of spice. So this will go perfect with this dish, being that it is in the south. So let's add the rest of our ingredients. Let's get our cilantro and garlic in there. And we're going to add to this some chopped walnuts that we have already roasted. I love the nutty flavor that this adds to this dish. And we're going to add some Persian barberries. And what these are, it's kind of a tart berry that's used in a lot of Iranian cooking. And a great substitute for this is cranberry because you kind of want that sweet and sour flavor, and this does that exactly. I also love the color that it gives to this dish. We like our dishes to be flavorful and colorful. That is a true representation of Iranian cooking. So we're going to mix this up and add our tamarind paste. What's important to remember is that we're going to have a little bit of tang, a little bit of sweetness, and some spice. To me, I think that is the ultimate combination to make a flavorful dish. So it's time to add our spices. Turmeric is a staple spice in Iranian cooking. It's going to give it a lot of color and really nice flavor. We have some fenugreek. This is dried. And it's in the same family as parsley, but it's a little bit more bold, and it's got a really distinct color. You definitely know an Iranian stew is being made when you smell that fenugreek. Now we're going to add some cumin. What I love about cumin is that it's used in Spanish, Indian, and Persian cooking. So it's going to give it an international flair. And this right here is a sour cherry syrup. And this is going to give a natural sweetness to our dish. You can find a lot of these Persian ingredients in your local Mediterranean market. And some of them you can just find in a grocery store. So we're going to saute this up. And to this, we're going to add some ground pepper and some saffron. So let me tell you a little bit about saffron. It is one of the most expensive herbs in Iranian cooking. So you want to make sure that you use it right. A little goes a long way. So we have some saffron threads, and we're going to grind it up so it's nice and ground, and we're going to dilute it in a little bit of hot water. So this is the finished product, some saffron that's been diluted in water, and we're going to just add a little bit to this. The aroma that saffron gives a dish is something that you just can't find with any other spice. And the flavor is super unique and something that you won't forget. It's really too bad that you're not here to smell this. It's really good. Traditionally, this is made with a white fish, but I've tried to use a salmon because I really love the texture of salmon, and the flavors go really well together. So now that we've salted the salmon, we are going to put some crushed red pepper flakes. And now we're going to get our stuffing on the fish. This is great because you can get your kids involved in doing this. You want to just make sure that's nice and covered. Just spread it out. It's going to be so good once it's all done. There's something I forgot to tell you. This is a top family secret. Top secret. It's never been shared before. But because it's a special occasion and Grill It has never had anything like this on the show, I'm sharing it with you. It is so khoshmazeh, or delicious. It's time to finalize the steps to get our fish ready for the grill. We're going to take some lemon and squeeze it over our mixture and onto the fish. We're going to fold our fish over. And as you notice, this fish was butterflied. And it's something that you can just have your local butcher do for you. We're going to take some kitchen twine and we're going to wrap it around the fish to secure the stuffing. We've also taken the bones out so it can just be ready to eat. You know, this is such a simple thing to do. It makes it look like it's hard and it'll impress your guests. What we've done is laid out some collard greens, puts a little bit of olive oil on them, and they're going to work as a barrier between the grill and our fish. So we're going to get that right on here. And what this does is it's actually form a really nice crispy crust that's going to make the presentation of this really cool. Time to flip this over. So this is kind of a tricky part. You want to use about 2 spatulas, okay, because it's kind of a heavy fish. And you're going to flip. Perfect. You want to get it right on those collard greens. Look at that. So you're going to have the nice crust, nice flavor, and it's going to be great for presentation. In Iranian culture, cooking food is all about sharing it with the people that we love most. And that's why we make everything family style. We've served the fish whole and of course garnish it with a little bit of cilantro and some lemon. The basmati rice has a little bit of saffron on it, and this right here is some crunchy potatoes, otherwise known as tadi, which is the surface of the rice that gets nice and crispy. Persian rice is the jewel of all Iranian cooking, and it's especially dear to me because growing up, my grandma was always making rice, and that smell, that aroma and the flavor takes me right back to her house. And even though she's not here with me, she is every day in my kitchen, especially when that rice is cooking. I hope that you have fallen in love with this culture as much as I have. And once you've tried this, you won't be disappointed.